When we think of the Old West, we usually picture dusty saloons, six-shooters at high noon, and rugged cowboys taming a wild frontier. But beneath that romantic image lies something much darker, a world full of violence, isolation, superstition, and raw survival. It's no wonder that filmmakers have found the perfect setting for horror in the vast, unforgiving landscapes of the American West. From haunted ghost towns to blood-soaked revenge tales and supernatural terrors lurking in the desert, these 13 Western horror movies peel back the myth and reveal the nightmare underneath. If you thought the Wild West was brutal before, wait until you see it through the lens of horror. Before we dive into this creepy cowboy countdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and saddle up with us for more eerie explorations, wild legends, and spine-chilling tales from the Old West. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Bone Tomahawk. Gritty, intense, and unflinchingly realistic, Bone Tomahawk stands out as a defining example of the Western horror genre. It masterfully blends the raw atmosphere of frontier life with the creeping tension of horror, creating a film that feels both authentic and unsettling. Led by a strong cast, Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, and Matthew Fox, the story follows a sheriff and a small group of men on a desperate search for two missing townspeople. Their journey takes them deep into unfamiliar and dangerous territory where isolation and cultural misunderstandings play a central role. Rather than relying on stylized violence, the film focuses on the psychological toll of survival in the American frontier. It draws on historical themes such as territorial conflict, frontier justice, and the harsh realities of 19th century travel. The attention to period detail, costuming, dialogue, and environment helps ground the more surreal elements in a setting that feels genuinely of its time. With its haunting pacing and commitment to both genres, Bone Tomahawk is widely considered one of the most effective Western horror films ever made. From Dusk till Dawn, stretching from the sun-scorched landscapes of Mexico to the barren edges of Texas, From Dusk Till Dawn begins as a classic Western tale. The dusty roads, tense standoffs, and outlaw themes firmly rooted in the traditions of the genre. But just as it settles into familiar Western territory, the film takes an unexpected turn, introducing supernatural elements that shift the story into full-blown horror. This deliberate pivot reflects director Robert Rodriguez's flair for genre blending and playful storytelling. At its core, the film centers on two fugitive brothers who, after a robbery, seek refuge in a remote desert bar. What starts as a crime drama soon transforms into a fight for survival as they confront a growing threat that's anything but human. Rather than leaning on realism, From Dusk Till Dawn embraces exaggeration and spectacle. Still, the film's opening half remains grounded in the Western tradition, highlighting lawlessness, frontier, escape routes, and the stark cultural tensions that often define the border regions of the 19th century. It's a film that knows its roots, plays with expectations, and delivers an experience that's as much a tribute to Western iconography as it is a wild detour into horror fantasy. The Burrowers. The Burrowers tells the story of a group of men searching for a missing group of settlers who have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Believing the incident to be the result of Native American conflict, an assumption rooted in the prejudices and misunderstandings of the era, they set out on what they think is a straightforward rescue mission. However, their journey leads them to a far stranger and more unsettling truth. What they uncover is not tied to human hostility, but rather to a hidden presence lurking beneath the soil, an unknown force that defies the natural world. The film plays heavily with Old West tropes, wide-open prairies, tense posses, and the fear of the unknown on the frontier. Yet it cleverly subverts expectations by using these elements to frame a slow-building supernatural mystery. From a historical standpoint, The Burrowers taps into the 19th century anxieties about the uncharted American frontier. Misattributed blame toward indigenous groups reflects a common narrative of the time, making the film's eventual twist feel both surprising and pointed. Though it leans into Western cliches, the film is often praised as an underappreciated entry in the genre. With its eerie tone and thoughtful use of historical themes, it offers a chilling yet entertaining experience for modern viewers. The Wind, a supernatural horror film set in the American West during the 1800s, offers a refreshing departure from the usual settings most horror fans are accustomed to. In The Wind, 2018, this unconventional backdrop serves as the perfect stage for an unsettling tale of isolation and unease. The film follows a determined frontierswoman who chooses to live alone on a remote piece of land in the vast, untamed wilderness of the West. As the story unfolds, both she and the audience begin to realize that there is something deeply wrong in this desolate corner of the frontier, something far darker and more mysterious than she ever expected. While The Wind may not be the most widely recognized or celebrated horror film, its unique blend of genres and its unusual setting make it stand out from typical westerns and horror films alike. By grounding the supernatural in the stark realities of 19th century frontier life, the movie taps into the historical isolation and superstitions that were prevalent among settlers of the time. Its slow-building tension and eerie atmosphere offer a refreshing take on the genre, making it a distinct and memorable viewing experience for those looking for something beyond the typical horror narrative. Vampires. John Carpenter's Vampires stands out as a striking departure from the director's usual work, offering a grittier and more relentless exploration of themes rarely tackled in his previous films. Known for his masterful blend of tension and horror, Carpenter uses this film to deconstruct American ideals in a dark and uncompromising way. The premise itself is unconventional, as it follows a group of vampire hunters hired by the church to eliminate a group of night-dwelling creatures. These vampires are after an ancient artifact that would grant them the ability to walk in sunlight. While the story may seem outlandish, Carpenter effectively grounds the narrative in an atmosphere of suspense and realism. By focusing on the harsh, brutal realities of the world he creates, Carpenter pulls the viewer away from fantasy and into a raw, unnerving setting. The film's approach to blending genres, horror, action, and Western elements, provides a unique viewing experience that challenges the traditional notions of good versus evil in the American mythos. Despite its genre-bending nature, Vampires delivers a chilling sense of dread that makes it more than just a horror film, reflecting the darker side of American culture in the process. Near Dark. The combination of horror and Western genres is already an unconventional one, but when romance is added to the mix, it could easily descend into chaos. Yet director Catherine Bigelow manages to seamlessly merge all three genres into a remarkable and cohesive film in Near Dark. This eerie and atmospheric vampire tale is made even more compelling by Bill Paxton's unforgettable performance, where he commands the screen with a level of intensity that is hard to match. The film's blend of horror and Western elements creates a unique sense of timelessness, pulling from classic frontier themes while imbuing them with a supernatural twist. The visuals in Near Dark are hauntingly memorable, with dark, almost poetic imagery that sticks with the viewer. And amidst the blood-soaked chaos, a tender love story emerges, one that resonates deeply and is bound to leave a lasting emotional impact on audiences worldwide. With its innovative combination of genres and its deep exploration of love, loss, and identity, Near Dark stands as an exceptional work in both horror and Western cinema. The Devil's Rejects. The sequel to Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses, The Devil's Rejects takes a dramatic departure from its predecessor. Gone are the exaggerated, stylized elements, replaced with a darker, more grounded approach to horror. This shift presents a grim, almost painful exploration of terror, making the film feel far more intense and raw. Although it doesn't strictly belong to the Western genre, The Devil's Rejects channels certain themes and tones that align with it, such as the depiction of morally ambiguous characters and the harsh realities of frontier-like lawlessness. The film's unsettling narrative forces the audience to endure the actions of three individuals who are, without a doubt, among the most vile characters imaginable. Zombies film does not glamorize the brutality these characters inflict. Rather, it offers a visceral look at their relentless depravity, drawing comparisons to the dark side of human nature that Western films often explore. Though it's not a traditional Western, the movie takes a twisted view of human evil that resonates with themes of survival and justice, typically found in frontier stories. Nope. Jordan Peele has established himself as a master at merging horror with a variety of cinematic styles, and in his 2022 film, Nope, he expertly blends horror with action, adventure, and Western elements to create a truly spectacular work. The film is an alien invasion story with an unexpected and monstrous twist, offering audiences an experience that is both thrilling and awe-inspiring. With breathtaking special effects and moments of genuine terror, Nope keeps viewers captivated from start to finish. But what truly sets the film apart is the way Peele crafts a world that feels authentically Western, deeply rooted in the themes and landscapes of the American frontier. The setting is so immersive that it pulls the audience into a time and place that feels both familiar and fantastical, making it hard to leave this world behind once the film ends. Peele's ability to infuse the familiar tropes of Western cinema with a modern, supernatural twist gives Nope its unique identity, blending genres in a way that feels both fresh and grounded in the tradition of American film history. Dead Birds. Dead Birds is undoubtedly one of the most unconventional and peculiar films ever made. The story centers around a group of Confederate soldiers who, after a bank robbery, find themselves stranded in an abandoned plantation. As if that wasn't enough, they soon discover that they are being hunted by dark, supernatural forces. While this premise may sound wildly absurd, it delivers on its strange concept with unexpected charm. Despite its unusual plot, the film never takes itself too seriously, offering a fun, laid-back experience for viewers. It successfully honors both the Western and horror genres, blending the best elements of each without diminishing the essence of what makes them so captivating. Dead Birds is a film that invites audiences to relax and embrace the ride, offering a unique blend of thrills and oddities. It's an experience unlike anything most fans have encountered before, and quite possibly one they won't see replicated anytime soon. Brimstone. Brimstone is a dark, intense story of vengeance set against the backdrop of the North American West. The film blends Western and horror elements in a grand, almost mythical narrative that explores themes of justice, survival, and morality, while infusing moments of harrowing tension and suspense. It strives to weave together a sprawling, almost biblical tale, filled with moral complexity and stark landscapes that reflect the harshness of its world. Starring a talented ensemble cast, including Guy Pearce, Dakota Fanning, and Kit Harington, Brimstone tells the story of a woman who, after surviving a traumatic and life-altering assault, is relentlessly pursued by a preacher seeking revenge for a crime she did not commit. The film is drenched in a sense of inevitability and desperation, capturing the oppressive atmosphere of the time while exploring the brutal nature of frontier justice. While the film's narrative can be heavy-handed at times, it effectively immerses viewers in its grim, unforgiving world. The moral grayness and emotional weight of the story resonate with those who appreciate Westerns that don't shy away from the darker side of human nature. It draws on historical themes of survival, punishment, and the harsh realities of the Old West, reflecting the bleak and sometimes unforgiving justice system of the time. Brimstone is not just a typical Western horror film. It's an epic journey that forces the audience to confront uncomfortable truths about vengeance and the human spirit. For those who are drawn to immersive, complex tales set in the untamed frontier, this film offers an experience that's both thought-provoking and deeply atmospheric. Bakarau. Bakarau is a Brazilian-French film that expertly blends horror and Western elements, weaving together sharp social and political commentary with an eerie, atmospheric tone reminiscent of John Carpenter's work. This unique fusion results in one of the most inventive, intense, and unsettling films to emerge in recent years. With its chilling sense of dread and darkly surreal moments, Bakarau stands out as an audacious and bold cinematic experience. Set in a remote village in Brazil, Bakarau portrays the struggles of a community uniting against the pervasive and destructive force of corporate greed. The film's narrative skillfully highlights the tensions between rural traditions and the overpowering reach of big business, drawing attention to the themes of exploitation and resistance. Yet despite its profound social commentary, Bakarau is undeniably a horror film, offering a relentless pace and unsettling imagery that keeps viewers on edge. The film uses its genre to create an intense atmosphere, reflecting the anxieties and challenges faced by marginalized communities in modern society. While its critique of corporate dominance and the erosion of human dignity is central to the story, it does so with a sense of urgency and unease that is hard to ignore. The horror elements are not just there to shock, they enhance the narrative's examination of survival, unity, and the fight for justice, making the film resonate on both an emotional and intellectual level. Bakarau stands as an exceptional example of how genre can be used not only to entertain, but also to reflect on societal issues. Its combination of horror, political allegory, and Western sensibilities gives it a distinctive edge, ensuring that it will be remembered as a thought-provoking and deeply impactful piece of cinema. The Hills Have Eyes. One of the most harrowing and unsettling Western horror films ever made, Wes Craven's 1977 classic, The Hills Have Eyes, stands as a stark, thought-provoking exploration of survival and human nature. Set against the vast, barren desert landscape of Nevada, the film follows a family on a vacation who, after their car breaks down, becomes stranded in a remote, desolate area. What initially seems like an unfortunate situation quickly spirals into a nightmarish struggle as they realize they are not alone in this unforgiving land. At its core, The Hills Have Eyes is a film that challenges the audience with its unflinching depiction of hardship and human desperation. The film portrays the extreme lengths to which people are driven when faced with survival in a hostile environment, highlighting themes of isolation, fear, and the darker side of human instincts. While the scenes in the film are undeniably disturbing, Craven uses them not simply for shock value, but to deepen the narrative's exploration of the human condition when pushed to the edge. The film's unsettling imagery and uncomfortable atmosphere are enhanced by its bleak outlook. Yet this sense of dread serves to amplify its underlying message. Craven's film is more than just a horror story. It's a social commentary on the breakdown of civility in extreme circumstances. The metaphor of a family stranded in the wilderness, forced to confront an unknown, threatening world, is not just about physical survival, but also about the psychological and moral challenges that arise when humanity is stripped of its comforts and security. The Hills Have Eyes is undeniably a challenging film, one that demands a great deal from its audience. Its uncomfortable portrayal of violence and fear can be difficult to watch, but the deeper themes make it a powerful and rewarding cinematic experience. Craven's ability to blend horror with profound ideological insights sets the film apart, ensuring its place as a thought-provoking piece of cinema that resonates long after the credits roll. Tremors. It's rare to come across a film that seamlessly merges the genres of Western and horror, as this combination tends to be polarizing. Many filmmakers prefer to infuse elements of both genres rather than fully commit to blending them together. However, there is one film that remarkably combines action, adventure, Western motifs, and horror in a way that stands out. Tremors. This 1990s cult classic, often regarded as a masterpiece of monster cinema, does more than simply entertain. It brings an imaginative twist to the genre by blending the spirit of the American West with the terror of lurking underground creatures. Set in a small, isolated town, Tremors takes audiences on a thrilling ride that combines the gritty, survivalist themes of a Western with the nail-biting tension of a horror movie. The film features two standout performances by Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, who bring both humor and charm to their roles as everyday men caught in a nightmarish situation. These characters, seemingly ordinary small-town residents, are thrust into an extraordinary fight for survival against monstrous subterranean creatures that terrorize their community. What makes Tremor so successful in blending these genres is its ability to weave the ruggedness of the Western into a modern setting, while also embracing the fantastical horror elements that keep viewers on edge. Much like the old Western heroes who must face the unknown wilderness, the characters in Tremors must confront a terrifying and unforgiving threat. The underground creatures, which act like modern-day versions of the dangers once faced by pioneers and settlers, add a fresh twist to the traditional Western survival narrative. Despite the bizarre premise, Tremors never takes itself too seriously, offering both thrilling action and a good dose of humor. The film uses its monster movie framework to explore themes of community, resourcefulness, and survival, staples in both the Western and horror genres. Its ability to balance tension, fear, and humor ensures it remains a highly enjoyable experience for both genre fans and casual viewers alike. In this way, Tremors manages to carve out a niche that few films have been able to replicate, making it a unique and unforgettable gem in the world of genre filmmaking. As we've seen, the Old West was far more than just gunfights and saloons. It was a place steeped in darkness and danger, where the line between survival and horror was often razor thin. These 13 Western horror films not only capture the thrill of frontier life, but also dive deep into the chilling unknowns that lurked in the desolate landscapes of the West. From supernatural creatures to twisted human nature, these films show us that the true terror of the Old West lies far beyond the stories of outlaws and lawmen. If you enjoyed exploring these eerie tales from the frontier, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for more spine-chilling adventures. There's always more to uncover from the dark, haunted history of the American West, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.